Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Molly exploited her unusual authority as an assistant district attorney to interact physically with inmates as soon as she got to Pentonville. After giving each other a short hug, Molly and Alexis sat down to talk about Alexis's situation. Molly urged Alexis to utilize her prosecutorial authority responsibly, and Alexis urged Molly to take all necessary steps to protect herself. Molly pleaded to be told otherwise when Alexis informed her that was the intention. "Not if you allow yourself to be sent to prison so that Sonny won't be," Molly replied. Molly wasn't so convinced Marty could get her off, but Alexis had faith in him. Molly wasn't holding much hope for Alexis finding the gun, even though she thought that would be her best line of defense. Molly recognized that Alexis remaining silent about Sonny would prevent Christina from losing it in court and placing herself in legal peril. If Christina hasn't already ruined her life, you have a sneaking suspicion that she soon will. And then, Molly said, all of your work would have been in vain. Sam and Molly, in Alexis's opinion, could look after Christina while she was in jail. Molly declined. "I can't have a relationship with Christina unless she starts taking responsibility for her actions," Molly stated. Admire B&B, Days, General Hospital, or other soap operas. Participate in the discussion on our SC boards. To interact with fans and start a conversation right now, click this link. Alexis spoke up for Christina, claiming that her condition was postpartum depression. "My name is Ma'am. She is my mother. I have to keep her safe. I hope you can comprehend," Alexis uttered. Molly understood that to mean that only a mother could truly understand. Molly got up and walked out. Heather and Rick met at the opposite end of the visiting room. Heather was appreciative of Rick's presence. "I appreciate that you haven't given up on me because I haven't given up on me either," Heather replied. Heather believed she could utilize the worried mother defense even though she had given up on the cobalt angle. Ultimately, Heather believed that she had protected her daughter by killing Alexis, who had been arrested for doing the same. Heather was reminded by Rick that her situation was not the same as Alexis. Heather instantly returned to her claim that the cobalt angle was what killed her. "Rick, I wasn't born to be a serial killer. I became one because of something," Heather said. Heather stated that she only wanted to be with her grandchild and that she felt different. "One day, Ace is going to know why I went to prison, and it can't be because I was a killer at heart. I can't just be that," Heather sobbed. Heather wanted to talk to Alexis when they were back in their cell, but Alexis wasn't feeling friendly. For having someone who believed in Alexis, Heather pledged to watch out for her when she was incarcerated. Heather acknowledged that she thought Alexis was a wonderful mother. After being moved, Alexis advised Heather to get additional blood work done. Trina was informed of Ava's legal issues as soon as she arrived at the Jerome Gallery. When Ava asked Trina to take care of the gallery while she attended to her numerous court cases, Trina was taken aback. When Trina expressed doubts about her ability to manage both a full-time job and school, Ava was taken aback. Is Trina ready to move on and return to college? Ava thought. Trina said she wasn't sure if she would ever be 100% ready, but she knew she had to make a move at some time. Rick arrived after Trina had departed to discuss Ava's case. Her statement regarding Christina's fall had some information that he thought would help him have the lawsuit dismissed. Ava knew that when Rick mentioned that he didn't have good news for other clients, he meant Heather. Considering how many opportunities people have given Ava over the years, Rick questioned why Ava wouldn't feel greater sympathy for Heather's desire for a second opportunity. At that moment, Heather texted Rick her most recent test results. Heather's case of cobalt poisoning was established. Rick described the events surrounding Heather's exams. Ava thought it was intriguing and questioned whether the GH findings had been tampered with. Elizabeth spun around at Bobby's and was astounded to see Lucky standing there just as he had all those years before when they had first crossed paths. Elizabeth even had a flashback to that very first instant almost 30 years earlier. When he told her that coffee impeded one's growth, Lucky harkened back to that time when they had been teens and he had told her cigarettes would slow her growth. Lucky assured Elizabeth that she had not changed at all, and Elizabeth welcomed an embrace. Elizabeth gave Lucky a BLT after they hugged and caught up on each other's lives. Elizabeth was commended by Lucky on her promotion to chief nurse. Elizabeth attempted to walk away, but Lucky invited her to stay and continue catching up. Lucky was reluctant to discuss what had transpired with Sidwell, but Elizabeth forced him to. Lucky dismissed the entire situation as insignificant. "Make a big deal out of it, please," Elizabeth stated plainly, "knowing that you were away for legitimate reasons would make your son feel better." Aiden was a good child, Elizabeth clarified, but she requested Lucky to handle him with care. Elizabeth emphasized that she understood Lucky was returning for Lulu and not Aiden, and that Lucky was unaware of his son. Elizabeth didn't want Aiden to think that Lucky was staying, and she knew he shouldn't believe that either. Lucky said, "I won't make him any promises I can't keep." After Lucky and Elizabeth departed for the hospital, Lucky gave Elizabeth's Bobby's sign some props. It was obvious to him that she had painted it. Lucky said to her, "I could tell your brush stroke anywhere." Sitting down with Lulu, Jason expressed his gratitude to her for helping him and Anna bring Lucky home. Dante was at the door when Jason went to leave. Dante expressed gratitude to Jason for bringing Lucky home. Jason gave a nod and turned to go. Jason ran into Sam at the elevator, and he wanted to talk. Jason said he was sorry he hadn't spoken to her before leaving for Africa. Sam acknowledged that if he had, she would have overreacted. Sam stated she ought to have realized he was going to Africa. "You are who you are, and I appreciate that." "And Dante and Rocco, too," Sam said. Elizabeth and Lucky showed up for some awkward stares and moments as Jason and Sam were chatting. Jason tried to chat to Elizabeth when Lucky went to get additional blood tests done. When she wrapped him in her arms and thanked him for bringing Lucky home, she soon put an end to his chatter. After another blood draw, Lucky quickly made a comeback, and Jason departed. Lucky thanked Elizabeth before she started working and stated he felt happy about everything. Elizabeth answered, "So do I," grinning a little. Sam stopped by while Dante and Lulu were sitting. She told Dante that she and Jason had a nice conversation. After Sam had been upset with Jason all year, Dante was relieved to hear that the two of them were now on the upswing. "It's still a work in progress," Sam said. In the hospital hallways, Brad and Portia literally ran into each other. The fact that Brad was working when he wasn't supposed to surprised Portia. Brad clarified that he didn't understand Portia's aggressive behavior and that he was filling in for someone. He vowed to carry out his duties properly. "I'm not going to make a mistake here." According to General Hospital previews for Monday, October 7th, Willow Corinthos will make an effort to forget about Drew Quartermaine and concentrate on her family with Michael Corinthos. There will be some topics for Michael and Willow to discuss now that Lucas Jones is back in the area and prepared to take on a role in Wiley Corinthos' life. Willow appears to be suggesting that they work things out together, which may cause Michael to relive some painful memories of the baby switch. There will undoubtedly be some tearful moments when Lucas visits Bobby Spencer's grave at the cemetery in the interim. Harrison Chase and Brooklyn Quartermaine will have to deal with some startling revelations from Violet Finn's principal. Brooklyn and Chase were already aware that Violet had hit a child, Garth, for calling her father an alcoholic. Violet and Chase had a lovely conversation, but it might not have been enough to keep her from facing some serious penalties at school. In the GH teaser video, Chase appears perplexed as he poses inquiries. If this isn't the first time an issue has arisen since Hamilton Finn entered treatment, the principal may decide to announce Violet's expulsion as a result. Violet, for her part, will ask Tracy Quartermaine for guidance on what to do if Finn is disparaged by someone else. In Monday's GH episode, Lois Cerullo will also have a disturbing moment. It remains to be seen if this has anything to do with the Violet drama or possibly a secret. Lois might be worried if something happens to jeopardize the long-kept secret that Brooklyn is Giovanni Gio Palmieri's biological mother, as the show has been making suggestions that she may be. Robert Scorpio will inform Diane Miller that Holly Sutton is back in town in another scene, but he will reassure her that their relationship is stable. Holly will answer the door at her hotel suite anticipating room service and will look surprised to see someone else. Jack Brennan appears to be making an appearance, as he will have a fascinating interaction with Holly in Monday's episode. After that, Terry Randolph and Elizabeth Baldwin will review Lucky Spencer's last test results in the hopes that everything will proceed according to plan for Lulu Spencer's liver transplant. Lucky will finally get to see Aiden Weber after all these years, and he'll admit he owes his son a big apology. We'll see how Aiden reacts to Lucky's first real attempt to mend things and establish a connection with him. General Hospital spoilers state Aiden may keep his guard up out of concern that Lucky may forsake him again, but our predictions point to them forming a better bond over time. The Friday, October 4th General Hospital teaser teases Violet Finn having to be picked up early from school after fighting with a boy called Garth. Violet punched Garth because he had labeled Hamilton Finn a drinker and had continued to talk about his stint in treatment. Violet was taken upstairs to change when Brooklyn Quartermaine showered her with grape juice in retaliation from Garth. Violet was appreciated by Harrison Chase for being honest with them, but he also cautioned her that her actions could have repercussions. A call stating that the principal needed to meet Violet's guardian immediately alarmed Brooklyn. Ava Jerome advised Rick Lansing at the gallery not to investigate any possibility of tampering with Heather Weber's results because GH might use their own lawyers to delay the case. Before taking departure, Rick understood someone had to be protected by Ava. Following that, Ava went to see Portia Robinson at her workplace and confronted her about the results manipulation that Rick was aware of. At first, Portia attempted to deny it, but Ava was certain it was her and didn't hold it against her for attempting to keep Trina Robinson safe. Ava eventually convinced Portia that she was accountable by stating that she would stop at nothing to keep her own daughter safe. Ava insisted on helping Trina because she knew that if her mother's job failed, Trina would blame herself. That being said, Ava wished Portia would just shut up and stop making a big deal out of herself. In addition to the fact that Rick might snoop around for Heather's benefit, Portia was worried about Brad Cooper working in the lab now. Ava thought she could handle Rick, and she soon received a call informing her that he was trying to have the case thrown out. Regarding Ava's enigmatic buddy, Rick maintained that they should stay that way. They hugged after Lucky Spencer dropped by Sonny Corinthos' office. Lucky felt that his father would have been disappointed that he had ever left, while Sonny believed that Luke Spencer would be happy for him for returning. Following Sonny's inspirational speech on fathers and sons, Lucky visited the hospital to meet up with Isaiah Gannon. Next, Trina attempted to reschedule Giovanni Gio Palmieri's violin performance at the gallery, but after Ava shoved Christina Corinthos Davis out of the window, he lost interest. Trina walked away and tried calling around to see if she could get another violinist. Jocelyn Jacks had Gio and Trina make up after realizing there was tension when she arrived. Gio ultimately consented to perform the concert in Trina's honor and wait for the court to rule on Ava's guilt. Lucas Jones was welcomed home by Carly Spencer. Lucas discussed his desire to make a fresh start in Port Charles again, which included leaving Boston and taking a job at GH. After the baby exchange was made public, it was difficult to be near Wiley Corinthos, but Lucas was now prepared to become an uncle. Lucas looked for updates after Jocelyn informed him about Carly and Sonny's potential participation. But in the end, Lucas made the decision to return later for further information, and he managed to locate Brad at the hospital lab. Brad was happy to see Lucas, but his happiness was short-lived. Lucas was just there to provide clarification regarding his return to GH, which explains why. Brad was Brad's only business partner, he didn't want to talk to him about anything else. Lucas wasn't against Brad, he just wasn't interested in hanging around thinking about the past. Carly spoke with Pozzolo about Alexis Davis and the need to clear her name when she got to his place. Sonny believed that locating the gun that Alexis threw away would be crucial in demonstrating that it wasn't the one that murdered John Jagger Cates. Sonny promised to give himself up if it came down to it because Carly was worried about what would happen if the weapon wasn't recovered. We'll bring you more drama predictions as General Hospital spoilers indicate that if Alexis' condition worsens, Sonny might be pressured into making a confession. Thursday, October 3rd General Hospital spoilers tease that Elizabeth Baldwin sat with Lucky Spencer and gave him a hug while he was eating a burger at Bobby's. Liz received information from Lucky regarding the issue surrounding Jen Sidwell and he gave her his word that he wouldn't break any pledges he made to Aiden Weber. Lucky accompanied Liz to GH since she had to go to work. Molly Lansing Davis visited Alexis Davis at Pentonville and encouraged her to take the necessary steps to win her release. Part of Alexis' defense involved putting Sonny Corinthos under the bus. Molly said that despite search attempts, the weapon Alexis disposed of was remained missing. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.